In the village of Udi, there lived Nne and Oma, who were known for their unbreakable bonds. From the moment they could walk, they were inseparable, whether it was fetching water from the stream, dancing at village festival, or sharing secrets under the moonlight. The two were always together. Nne, with her sharp mind and clever ideas, often found solutions to any problem, while Oma, with her beauty and gentle nature, brought smile to everyone around her. As they grew older, their charm began to catch the attention of many, including the young and respected ruler of the land, King Obi, a man of strength and charisma. King Obi had a voice that commanded respect and eyes that seemed to see into one's soul. One day, during a village celebration, his heart was captured by Oma. Without delay, he went to her family and asked for her hand in marriage. Nne watched the event unfold with a forced smile. She told herself she was happy for her friend, but deep down, she felt a pang of jealousy. She couldn't stop imagining herself in Oma's place, dressed in royal robes, walking hand in hand with King Obi, or laughing alongside him. Though she tried to suppress her feelings, they grew stronger with each passing day. One afternoon, Oma visited Nne at her small hut. "You must come to the palace more often," Oma said, her eyes sparkling. "It feels so empty without you, my friend." Nne forced a smile and replied, "I will try." But the truth was, Nne could no longer bear to see Oma's happiness. As days turned into weeks, Nne began avoiding Oma, pretending to be busy. But every time she was alone, her mind was consumed by thoughts of her friend's life. Why her though? Why does she get to have everything and not me? She's not even that fine as I am. Nne whispered to herself one sleepless night. A dark thought crept into her mind. If Oma were gone, she could take her place as queen. The idea refused to leave her and only grew stronger until Nne decided to act on it. Nne had heard tales of a mysterious old woman who lived deep in the forest. It was said that this woman could grant wishes for a prize. Early one morning, before anyone in the village was awake, Nne left her hut and headed into the dense forest. The trees were tall and twisted. The branches were so tall, Nne could hear echoes of different sounds, but she pressed on, determined to find the old woman. After hours of walking, she stumbled upon a small hut made of sticks. Smoke curled from its roof, and the air smelled strange. Sitting outside was this old woman, stirring a pot of bubbling green liquid. Her tangled hair framed a face with piercing eyes that seemed to see straight into Nne's heart. "What brings you here, child?" the old woman asked in a voice that was both gentle and sharp. Nne hesitated but then said firmly, "I want my friend gone. I want to take her place as queen." The old woman raised an eyebrow. "That is a dark wish," she said. Nne's voice did not waver. "I will do whatever it takes." The old woman chuckled darkly and disappeared into her hut. When she returned, she held a small vial of green liquid. "Give this to your friend," she said. "It will turn her into something harmless, something you won't think about again." Nne's hand trembled as she asked, "What will it turn her into?" The old woman smiled, revealing crooked teeth. "A fish," she replied. "She will live in the river, far from the palace, and no one will ever know her again." Taking the vial, Nne returned to the village and waited for the right moment. Days later, when Oma visited her, Nne greeted her warmly. "I made something special for you," Nne said, handing her a wooden cup filled with the potion. "It's a drink to give you strength and keep you happy." Oma smiled, trusting her friend completely. "Thank you, Nne," she said before drinking it in one gulp. The transformation was instant. Oma's body began to shrink. Her arms disappeared and her legs fused together, forming a long, scaly tail. Before Nne's astonishing eyes, Oma turned into a small, beautiful golden fish. Nne picked up the fish. Her heart was racing. "Goodbye, Oma," she whispered. Carrying the fish to the river, she released it into the water. "No one will ever know," she said to herself, "and I will take your place." Days passed after Oma's disappearance, and the village were buzzed with confusion and concern. From the palace servant to the villagers, everyone speculated about what could have happened to the new queen. She had vanished without a trace. King Obi, restless and deeply worried, used all his power to search for her, but no one could find her. Every night when he sleeps, he always had a strange dream. In this dream, he will see Oma standing by the river bank. Her face looks very sad, calling out his name. "Obi, I'm here. I need your help." Her voice will echo. The dream became more vivid with every passing night. Soon, King Obi became convinced they were more than just dreams. He began to believe Oma was reaching out to him from wherever she was. Meanwhile, Nne, now a frequent visitor to the palace, pretending to be a supportive friend to the grieving king. "My king," she said one day while they walked through the palace garden, "I know you miss Oma. I do too, but life must go on. The villagers need a strong leader. I can help you." Her words were sweet, but her heart was full of deceit. King Obi sighed deeply. Months passed, and whispers began spreading through the village. Some believed Oma had run away, while others suspected foul play. Nne, frustrated by her inability to win King's heart, spent sleepless nights muttering to herself. "Why am I not queen yet?" she whispered. One night, as she lay on her bed, an idea struck her. If kindness couldn't win Obi's heart, perhaps magic could. She remembered the old woman in the forest who had helped her once before. At the break of dawn, Nne set off for the forest again. The trees loomed taller and the path seemed darker than she remembered. As she approached the old woman's hut, the same strange smell filled the air. The old woman sat outside, grinding herbs with a stone bowl. Without looking up, she said, "You've returned sooner than I expected, child. I warned you that your first wish would bring trouble." "I want something else, Mama," Nne said, her voice determined. "I want King Obi to love me." The old woman chuckled darkly and looked up, her piercing eyes narrowing. "Love cannot be forced, child, not without a price." Nne's heart pounded, but her desire burned hotter than her fear. "I don't care about the price," she snapped. "I'm willing to pay anything." The old woman's expression turned serious. "Anything?" she asked, her voice low. Nne nodded. "Yes, anything." The old woman leaned closer, her voice almost a whisper. "You must sacrifice your womb if you agree. The king will love you, but you will never bear children." Nne froze, her breath caught in her throat. She had always dreamt of being a mother, but the image of herself wearing a crown, sitting beside King Obi as queen, was too powerful to resist. "I agree," she said at last, though her hands were trembling. The old woman, revealing her yellow teeth, she reached for a black pot and began mixing powder and strange liquid. The room was filled with a thick, bitter smell. Finally, she handed Nne a small vial of red liquid. "Pour this into the king's food," the old woman instructed. "Once he eats it, his heart will belong to you. But remember, your womb now belongs to me." Nne nodded as she left the hut, her mind swelled with excitement and fear. Back at the palace, she requested permission to prepare a special meal for the king. "He has been so sad," she said sweetly to the servants. "I want to cheer him up." Trusting her as a close friend of the king, they allowed her into the royal kitchen. Nne prepared a delicious stew and secretly added the charm. That evening, Nne served the meal to King Obi herself. "This is for you, my king," she said softly, her voice filled with faint care. "I hope it brings you peace." King Obi ate without hesitation. The charm worked quickly. By the time he finished, his eyes softened as he looked at Nne. For the first time, he smiled at her. "Nne," he said warmly, "I never realized how much I've taken you for granted. You've been by my side through everything." Nne's heart leaped. She masked her triumph with a modest smile. I will always be here for you, my king. Within days, King Obi announced that he and Nne would marry. The palace erupted in whispers. The villagers were shocked. How could the king marry Oma's best friend so soon after her disappearance? They murmured. Even Oma's parents were devastated. How could this happen? Her mother cried. Nne was like a daughter to us. The villagers were suspicious, but they had no proof of wrongdoing. They feared punishment and stayed silent. Nne, now queen, walked through the palace in the finest robe and jewels, showered with love by King Obi, yet deep inside, she felt a shadow of unease. She had everything she wanted, but a strange feeling still lingered, a sense that something or someone was watching her. Far from the palace, the golden fish swam in the river, its scales catching the light of the rising sun. Its eyes glowed with quiet determination. Meanwhile, in another part of the village, a poor widow named Chinwe balanced a clay pot on her head as she walked to the river. Life had been a constant struggle since her husband passing. Feeding her young daughter Cassia often felt impossible, but Chinwe kept her faith, praying daily for a blessing that would change their fortunes. As Chinwe bent down to scoop water from the river, she felt an unusual weight as she lifted her pot. When she returned home and carefully tipped the pot over into a basin, her eyes widened in shock. A golden fish slid out, its scales sparkling like sunlight. It was unlike anything she had ever seen before. Is this real? She whispered to herself, leaning closer. Her heart was pounding as she recognized it. The legendary golden fish, said to appear only once in a lifetime and highly valuable. Excited, Chinwe trembled as she said, "If I sell this fish, Cassia and I will never have to struggle again."